Hello, it's Lucas here, and I've got another mock showcase for you. In today's video, I'm showing off my latest addition to my modular building display. However, this is not a modular building. This is a raised subway track. It's built specifically for set 76321, Spider-Man vs. Doc Ock subway train scene. You're probably wondering where Spider-Man and Doc Ock are, but they're currently on my modulars. So we'll get looking at the bridge first. This is, of course, based off of a New York City train bridge for above ground subway tracks. So you can see down here, we got a simple path. These are standard for all modular buildings, and so I had to include this. And this nice fence made out of a fire engine ladder, or really any ladder for that matter. But and then you can see there is simple foliage just around the base, which is sloped down because that seemed to be the style that usually followed with these types of bridges, followed by the support, which is made out of gel door pieces, or well, just gel bar pieces, and these long support beams to make this nice, strong, sturdy connection. And it's got a nice hole through it, so you can look straight through. There's some tiles, because I can never go without tiles. I always need it to be tiled. And then some Technic beams coming across towards the top of the actual bridge. I always like to think that Technic beams are sort of the steel beams of the Lego world, because they're much stronger than normal bricks, and they look much stronger just by their design. Now moving on to the top, you can see there's a railing on either side made out of these train pieces, or at least they usually come on trains. They're very nice, very easy to use. Originally, my idea was much better, or my original idea was much better, I should say, which was to use these, but I was one short, so I couldn't. They fit perfectly. They were just one was missing. Regardless, there's this vine here, which you'll see where that connects to once I have it in the modular display. But coming up to here, there are grills all the way across, because that seemed to kind of be the design of these bridges. They had a lot of holes in them, but it's just the way they're made, I guess. And then this is where the support is. It's all filled in, so it's pretty nice. You can tell instantly where the support is. There's also gaps right where the support is, but that's just because these aren't long enough to fully reach across the entire thing. Every ballast is completely covered with brown tiles. And then there's these two spots which will connect to the bottom of the subway trucks. So now, let's move out of this. We'll keep it right there, right in frame. But we'll come and we'll look at this. This is the subway car from, of course, set 76321. It's much wider now. Well, 2 steps wider. And you can see there's just a few people in there. The windows are different on the front, just because they needed to be wider windows, but I didn't have any wider windows, so that's why these are thin. They should be just as wide as these ones, but I had to steal these ones from here, so they just got swapped around. And then there's these bigger windows on the front. You can see in there is the driver, and then we'll continue back. This is different. There used to be 2 of these right here and here, but I swapped that out. It's also 3 plates taller to make it less short, which it was before because I made it wider at 8 studs. And then you can also see these bottom parts are wider, and this is wider. It's just barely too small for the thing, but that was on purpose. And then we remove the roof. It kind of comes off in a few pieces, but you can see there's just some people in there. There's the driver up there, someone going to work or from work, depends on the situation. That person is pointing at something, which you will see what he's pointing at once I put it in the city area. but then just a few other people. It's pretty much exactly like the other set, or the original set, I should say. Just with some more people, and it's bigger, it's wider, it's heavier too, much heavier. But I'm gonna put this right back on top. It's got two little spots that it clips into, which makes it nice and tight, so you don't have to really worry. And that's the big surprising thing for me, is just how strong this entire bridge is. It's only got one support, but it stays together. It's because these rail pieces are well, they can't really bend too much because they're one or two, I should say, pieces. So they help a lot in keeping everything nice and sturdy. You can see where it bends is where the train tracks meet. And then, of course, each tile of the brown tiles at the center keeps those together, plus all the support, and it just makes it super strong, super sturdy. This can come off pretty easily, but that's by design. And there it is. And I also have this guy. He's from Disneyland, or Disney World, I should say. Disney World, Florida. He's just got a custom printed torso from there. I just thought I'd point him out. He's just minding his own business on the street. So there he is. And now I'm going to put this with the rest of my modulars, and we'll see what it looks like. Here it is in the city. Well, I say city, but now you can see what the guy on the inside was pointing at. And it's this poor worker who nearly got hit by the train. You can see his hat going flying. And there's definitely not enough space for this guy to just be walking. So he's very lucky to be alive right now. And over here you can see Spider-Man, who is absent from the set. But you can see him swinging this way. He also put a web there. I don't know what that was for. Why in this gold brick, but that's not important. But you can see him swinging across the city. You're probably wondering where he's going. And it's to Doc Ock over here, who has Aunt May. But he's also got a trap, just like in Spider-Man 2. But let's go down this way. And we can also see over here, here's J. Jonah Jameson, just running his own small newsstand. I guess the Daily Bugle didn't work out in this multiverse. I don't know what they call it. But you can see it's very nice. And it sticks out very far. It sticks out past every other building. It's a nice part of the skyline, I'd say. It's a must-have. Definitely. But you can see it sticks out very far. The fence fits in perfectly. So you can't actually fit around there. There's a little bit of a gap over here, but you really can't get back there. It's too tight. So that's all nice. You can see the guy walking. And then I gotta move this tree over. But that's why there was a vine, because it kind of connects in a way to the tree. So it almost looks like the tree's growing onto the track, which just connects these two modulars even more. And I thought these were the best two to have, because I couldn't do it over here, because then I'd expose this bare wall, which looks ugly. And I couldn't really do it anywhere else. And I guess I could have done it here, but didn't really want to do it here. You can see this guy's breaking a lamppost, just like in the best Lego game, Lego City Undercover. And I guess I can show you a little more. This video will come out soon, maybe October 1st. No promises, but October 1st maybe. And then you can see another guy. He's pretty close to Lego City Hero, and he's just collecting up some studs over there. But there it is. I think it fits very well. I think it looks really nice. I needed to have this because I had Spider-Man and I had Doc Ock, and I couldn't have just Spider-Man and Doc Ock and not the train, because that would be wasting half of the set, basically. Well, actually 90% of the set. But yeah, I think it fits very well. It's also the only place that has a hole all the way to the back of the wall. So that's also a pretty interesting difference. Nothing else here has any alleyways or holes, which I definitely think should be something they do in newer modulars at some point, because I think that would be a cool design. At least very interesting. But there it is, right in the city. You can walk right under it. Looks very nice. Poor guy nearly got hit, but hey, he's alive. So besides, it's like a city. I don't think he would actually get hit and die by the train. So he's fine. You can also see over here, Doc Ock's breaking this pillar on the window. He also broke through this window while he was climbing up. So it went straight through. There's no other sign of Doc Ock around here. Those are just the only two. But it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and like it. If you didn't, then that's okay. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. There it is. And, well, have a nice day.